Hello students, welcome to e-learning. We are continuing with the same chapter 5, and this is the ninth lecture. We already started causes of poverty, and here in that particular topic, causes of poverty, we are going to learn today with economic factors. We have completed these two reasons, that is, or two causes, that is historical reasons and causes of rural poverty. Now today we are going to start with economic factors. So there are so many different subpoints in economic factors. Let us see that particular subpoints. So you find here economic factors. What does the economic factor? Economic factor means nothing but we can say financial factors, or financially why it was been causing the poverty in India. So first is low agriculture production per labor. So per labor, per person, how the production of the agriculture was very less. So there was a very less agriculture production per labor, which we are going to learn in detail again. Then after unequal distribution of land and property, we can say yes, you find that due to the Britishers time, you find that different rules and we can say policies were made by them, and because of that there was an unequal distribution of land and property. Then the minimum development of small and cottage industries. Now again, we have seen in the historical reasons only that you find that because of Britishers rule and their, we can say, industrial policy, we find that our small and cottage industries suffer a lot, and how it has been suffered, that all topics we are going to learn in detail in this particular point. Then comes the fourth one, that is rapid increase in price. Yes, due to inflation, or you find that due to uh, fast growing economy, you find that there after independence, you find that the price of the goods have we can say increased drastically. You find that new invention came, economic reforms come. After economic reforms, you find that in the 1991 you find the so many companies came again. Then after you find that there are different policies and different companies who made competitive environment in the market in our India, and you find that how there is a rise in the price. So that is we are going to learn. And lastly, high rate of unemployment. Yes, there are many seasonal, you find the disguised unemployment, which we are going to see in this particular topic. And we have already learned in rural areas also causes rural poverty, where why there is an increase in unemployment, because of what all scales and what all different things which we already learned. So same way here also some of the points will be there in the high rates of unemployment. So let's quickly start with the first one, that is the low agriculture production per labor. So here low agriculture production per labor, as I told you, it is per labor or per person. Agriculture production was been less. Why it was been? Because in the rural area you find that all the family, or the family in the members, all the members of family are dependent on agriculture. They are not going away, or they are not going, they are not thinking like they should go with a different sector also. Like if three men are there, one man should go with agriculture and other two men should go with some other industrial or service work. So it will be a benefit if suppose might chances because of natural causes you find that there may be an production loss or low production will be there. That time the other two persons members can help them out. So that is what is happening. So one of the important reason is high poverty in rural areas. We find that causes of rural poverty हमने देख लिया, उसके अंदर high poverty कैसे आता है, natural causes and demographic factors से हमने देखा कि why there is a lacking or why there is a more poverty increase. And that is correct that it is one of the important high poverty in rural India, where low agriculture production has been there per labor because of poor irrigation. Yes, फैसिलिटी, बहुत सारी फैसिलिटी जो एग्रीकल्चर सेक्टर के लिए चाहिए वो हमारे पास नहीं थी आफ्टर ब्रिटिश रूल. इफ़ यू टॉक अबाउट आफ्टर इंडिपेंडेंस, यू फाइंड दैट वी डज नॉट हैव मच ऑफ टेक्नोलॉजी. ब्रिटिशर्स ने हमको कभी भी टेक्नोलॉजी में आगे बढ़ने नहीं दी. सो पूर इरीगेशन फैसिलिटीज़, इनसफिशिएंट टेक्नोलॉजी, लैक ऑफ लैक ऑफ एजुकेशन कराते थे, लेकिन उनके हिसाब से उन लोग के यूज़ के लिए कराते थे, जैसे इंजीनियरिंग, सिविल इंजीनियरिंग, एवरीथिंग. So lack of education and training regarding this particular science and technology was being not much developed on that time. Then after you find that low rate of investment. Yes, because the farmers were there at that time and it was been exploited. Only zamindars were left, and zamindars were also been paying high tax to the Britishers. And after that we find that they are only lacking. So you find that the rate of investment which should be made was made very less on the agriculture sector. It was neglected. The agriculture sector was totally neglected, and because of that there was a heavy load of population. Again, agriculture sector was been there, production was low. Again, as in time passing on, you find that the population was growing more and more and more. So ultimately what happened, the production is less and the population is increasing. So what is happening, that the per person how much amount of we can say crop should coming up, that becomes reduced. So many of them are not able to purchase, because they are first of all they are coming in the poverty, second they are increasing the population, third you find that they are not able to get per person how much food they require, this it is not possible for them to consume. So here you find that this became a major factor or major problem, like this all things, that is technological things, you can education, training, low rate of investment, you find poor irrigation facilities, all this become a major problem for production. So production became less that time, and you find that as this all things were mattering, or it has been affecting the farmers income remain low and low that time, and the poverty has been increased. So this was the first, we can say, economical factor why it was been lacking, that is because of the facilities, or we can say insufficient technologies. I hope you have been getting. Again, the same way you find that one more thing, that is farmers which are originally from the olden eras, they are not able to, likely to catch up the new technologies also. So because they are having lack of education, and they are not, we can say, they became very conservative to use old techniques only, they are very conservative not to use the, we can say, new techniques. So it again became a problem, they are not able to invest in the new things, because they does not know and they are not able to understand the new things. So that became again one of the matter. So you find that's why their income remain low, and you find in rural areas the farmers income were low. Chalo, let's go with, and this increases the poverty. So let's go with second point. Second point is nothing but, we can say, unequal distribution of land and property. Yes. So what happened, as I'm going to go with the historical reasons, that in the Britishers times the policy was of zamindar systems. So zamindar system, what happened, land was an important factor in India at that time, population was less, cultivation of agriculture sector was more. But from the British period in India, you find that zamindari system came up, land ownership system came up. So what will happen, what happened, many of the poor farmers land was being seized up or taken up by of zamindars, because of failure of payment of debt or interest on loan, or which all things they have taken. So what happened, the poor farmer was exploited, their lands were taken by zamindar, and zamindars were the, then after became the owners of their particular land. And what happened, you find that farmers were without land. Now what happened again, if they want to grow, if they want to live their life, if they have to take the loan, and they have to pay the interest to the zamindars, so that they can cultivate crops and they can produce crops for their living. But what happened, again you find that they charges high rate of interest, again it became in problematic factor for farmers. So what happened with the high rate of interest, or we can say where there is a more depth which is being on the farmer, he became we can say more or less to cultivate more and more crops. Again the interest was not able to paid by them. Again we find that if they having their own land, what will happen, they can give their land to another person and they can gain interest on that particular land. But here zamindars were earning, the farmers were not earning. So again you find that in the rural factor, in the farmers were again exploited after that time, and agriculture sector was not able to produce that much more. Second, you find that tenants nothing but, we can say, the person who owns, the person who takes the land on rent, they need to pay the rent. So the rent payers are known as tenants. So tenants were working on the land. Yes, you find that farmers were taking land at the rent basis and they are working on it. But what happened, वर नॉट दी ओनर्स, वो लोग ओनर्स नहीं थे, तो इस वजह से उन लोग को कोई गेन नहीं हो रहा था अगर ज़मीन की कीमत बढ़े या ज़मीन किसी और को दे दे. अगर सपोज when they are farmers and they are having their own land, what will happen, they are able to give their land on others and they can gain interest on investment. Yes, but here it was not like that. So ये problem की वजह से you find that the people were, the farmers were poor and the zamindars were more and more. So distribution कैसा होना चाहिए, अगर कोई suppose a person is a farmer, he must have their own land. But due to Britishers time, you find that many of the farmers have lost their land and it was been with the zamindar system. So in the zamindari system, zamindars were be able to gain more of land, landowners gain more of land, where you find that the properties of farmers were being catched or taken up by this particular zamindars. And after independence, you find that the farmers have to take this particular land from them with a high rate of interest or high rate of investment with the high rate of interest which they have to give. So again it became a problematic sector, and this is how you find that the land was not with the farmers but with the, we can say, zamindars. The property and land was been undistributed among the people of India after before independence, or it is due to the policy of Britishers. So this was the thing here. Last point you find, sir, again there is a low agriculture production because खुद का ज़मीन नहीं था, लेकिन हम ट्राई करते, लेकिन where you find that the interest, as I told you, I'm talking about the interest and rent which are should be given to the we can say land owners, तो उन लोग को वो ज़्यादा देना पड़ता था. तो उस टाइम पे they lose the moral of growing more crops or more increasing the production. So due to low agriculture production and low productivity, you find that poverty again increased day by day. So that was the thing that is coming under second point. There is unequal distribution of land and property. ज़्यादातर ज़मीन फार्मर्स की ब्रिटिशर्स के टाइम से ही जिसने ले ली थी, ज़मींदार्स ने ले ली थी. उसके बाद it became a problematic factor where the producers are not having their own land. Yes, that is, the farmers are not having their own land for cultivating crops. They need to pay high rents or taxes, as well as you find that interest if they are not having money for them to others who are having, that is the zamindars. Chalo, let's go quickly with the third point. Minimum development of small and cottage industries. Yes, so what is the minimum development? मीन्स हमारे यहाँ पे जो कॉटेज एंड स्मॉल स्केल इंडस्ट्रीज थी, व्हाट हैपन इन दैट, देयर वाज बिन first of all with the trade policy as well as industrial policy, our, we can say, small and cottage industry were in problem because they Britishers made at that time their products to be sell more and more. तो वहाँ पे वो डेवलपमेंट नहीं हुआ. उसके बाद आफ्टर इंडिपेंडेंस व्हाट हैपन, this small and cottage industries were been lost, and after that they slowly started going up, but the investment के लिए पैसे नहीं थे. So in India, in the second 5-year plan, so and after we are started with 5-year plans planning from 1950, 51 से हमने 5-year plans, हमारा आफ्टर इंडिपेंडेंस ने 5-year plan बनाया कि भाई हमको किस किस चीज़ पे फोकस करना है, गवर्नमेंट बनाती थी. सो अ स्ट्रेटेजी फॉर इकोनॉमिक डेवलपमेंट, that is heavy and basic industries were given importance. Yes, सेकेंड 5-year प्लान जो बना, दैट इज़ इन 1956 के बाद जो 5 years 1956 to 1961. So you find that they have main target is to increase the heavy and basic industries. हैवी भी बोला है और बेसिक इंडस्ट्रीज भी बोला है, तो वो दोनों को इम्पोर्टेंस दिया था यहाँ पे. एंड दैट वाज बिन देयर, यू फाइंड इट वेयर रूरल एरिया के अंदर स्मॉल एंड कॉटेज इंडस्ट्रीज उसको इग्नोर कर दिया. सो इन रूरल एरिया स्मॉल एंड कॉटेज इंडस्ट्रीज वर which has a great contribution to the employment. वहाँ पे क्योंकि small and cottage industries में क्या handy products बनते हैं. It is it is not made, production is not done by the machines, but it is mostly done by the laborers. So laborers were engaged there, and you find that employment नहीं बढ़ता, unemployment नहीं बढ़ता, employment was given more, or more employment opportunities are there in small and cottage industries. Then after, again, the production income were neglected. In that time, if we are going to study in the later part also, you find that in the chapter that rural areas was contributing so much amount that time, but still it was been ignored, and they started going with heavy and basic industries for industrial revolution in India. Then after, moreover, agriculture and allied activities alike, जैसे एनिमल हस्बेंड्री था, जैसे ये स्मॉल स्केल में रूरल एरिया में ये सब ज़्यादा होता था और इसके अंदर से ज़्यादा इनकम आती, बट इट वॉज बीन इग्नोर्ड. सो एनिमल हस्बेंड्री, डेयरी फार्मिंग, you find fisheries. So all these three factors were growing slowly. It should be developed more, but it was been growing slowly under this particular. And you find that because of that seasonal unemployment हो गया. Why seasonal? क्योंकि ज़्यादातर काम नहीं रहता था इनके अंदर, वो सीजनल के लिए ही बुलाते थे. एंड देन आफ्टर यू फाइंड दैट आफ्टर द सीजन इज बीन ओवर, दे आर बीन अनएम्प्लॉयड अगेन. सो here when the importance is not given, when there, we can say, they are being neglected, so what happened, they started there, the demand for the production and all the things were became lesser and lesser. So only seasonal employment was being given by this particular thing, and again it became a problem. So many of them were underemployed. As a result, again you find that poverty remained high. Next class we are going to learn the 2 points, okay, and the quick revision for all the 5 points, and today only 3 points. So tomorrow I will continue with the 2 points remaining, and I will be going with the full 5 points revision. Thank you.